Boy, we are live. Stand by, everybody, while I pull the levers, push the switches, dance around, put my hat and glasses on. Seven in the house. Who do I see? Mawelma, Larice, and May. Reyes. Mike married to a beautiful woman. Letty Me. Nicole is here. She's been here. Mike K. Joe Buena Vista is hanging around from Vallejo, California. Who did I miss? Edward D. Beck, the Mac Daddy, who's in the green room enjoying some donut holes. Yeah, have some donut holes and some eggnog hooch. Oh, I'm here. Ah, boy. Hi, everybody. It's been a few days since I've seen y'all. So we're here in Angeles City, Pampanga, and man, Minnie is next to me over here. It's a small little kiosk room. So we're gonna do a video about it. Basically, it's about the size of a postage stamp. Now, I should have been paying more attention when I was booking this room. There's nothing wrong with the room. We really like it because it's small, it's easy to keep up with, and we're here only for 3 days. There was no problem whatsoever with the room. It's got mood lighting. You can see the mood lighting through the camera. It's blue. And I need the lighting because when I turned it off, I got dark, and I'm probably a little bit dark right now. So anyway, welcome. We are in Angeles City, Pampanga. Yeah, we're in the washroom. So basically, the toilet is right behind me, and then the shower is over here on this other side. And so it's very, very tiny and compact, and I kind of like it. Like I said, it's about the size of a postage stamp, but it's right in the entertainment district. So all we have to do is walk right outside the door, and boom, Angeles City is there. 10 steps away from the walk-in street. Not that I spent a whole lot of time there. By the way, we had a chance to meet with Tim Desiak at the Denny's. That was fun. Tim's he's a delightful person to have a conversation with. I got to tell you, if you ever come to the Philippines, Angeles City, you want to hook up with Tim Desiak. He'll show you where everything's at. And of course, we got lost walking around the mall. I didn't know that the brand new Denny's was not inside the main mall. So if you go there, they're building all over the place. I mean, it looks like this modern city. So it's a weird, one of the reasons why I enjoy hanging out here is because you can go from Fields Avenue and bounce over across to SM Clark Mall, and you're in a completely different world. I mean, it is fascinating. It is a completely different world. It's like a huge modern city, and after you spent a couple of hours there, you can completely forget that Angeles City is just over across less than probably, I don't know, 50 yards away across Fields Avenue. And so it's remarkable. It's changed a lot since the last time that I was here. We're having a good old time. Of course, the walking street itself, we'll be doing videos about all this stuff, but the walking street itself is not very busy. In other words, I remember the days when it was packed, and Tim had mentioned this also. Tim had said, "Hey, this thing is." There was a time where the walking street was packed from one end to the other, 20,000 people, and you couldn't even make your way. It would take you like about an hour to make your way through the crowds. So, I mean, I remember those days. I mean, it was remarkable. But now you're walking down the street. Well, it's low season now. There's still a lot of foreigners around, the folks that live there. But that's part of it's good and bad. In other words, ABCM is here. Larry Lee is in the house. Um, so what'll end up happening is you'll get dragged into the club or the bar. The girls will come right out there, and they will grab you, and then I feel obligated to go in there. They're not making any money in the bars, so you got to go in there. You have at least one beer. You have to contribute to the local economy. Tim Desiak is in the house. He must have heard me talking about him. All right. So I went down, speaking of the walking street, so there's a 24-hour McDonald's located down on the end of the walking street on the corner of MacArthur Highway. And Anna Mae, the beautiful part about this is we walked, Man Minnie and I, we had a pleasant stroll from the Dow bus station. Dow, how do they call it? Dow? I say Dow, D-A-U, but it's pronounced differently. All right, but that's how you spell it. I think DAU something. Anyway, that's the main bus terminal. And so I tried to get we tried to get the bus that drops us off right at SM Clark. We were unsuccessful. So we ended up in Manila Cubao. You guys know Manila Cubao? The main Irene and Irish, do you know Manila Cubao, the main bus station, or the main area where all the bus terminals are? And you basically have your pick of any bus that you want to take that takes you to Angeles City. I mean, they leave every 15 minutes or so. I mean, Sammy's in the house. Daisy Lynn Castro is here. Yeah, so we jumped on a bus when we couldn't find one that went directly to SM Clark. Only Genesis goes to SM Clark. It's a beautiful thing if you're going airport to SM Clark. So for future reference, it's from there to there, A to B, dumps you off right there at Clark SM Mall, SM City Mall, I think they call it. Well, anyway, making a long story short, I'm very long-winded today, aren't I? Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm so excited to be here. The whole thing about that is that the whole thing about that whole experience was it still worked out great because even though it didn't drop us right practically in front of the hotel, which I was kind of trying my best to make happen. Genesis, it turned out, only has one terminal where you can get it at Terminal 3 in the airport, and then we had to, if we wanted to go find it in Cubao, you can, but it's a long journey by taxi. And I wasn't going to, defeats the purpose if you got to pay for the taxi to get to the bus terminal. What kind of sense does that make? I mean, man, Minnie and I, we made it all the way from Manila, Ermita area or Malate area, all the way down to Cubao by taking just one Jeep. We walked, found a Jeep. We walked to where all the jeepneys pick up and hang out, which is just right around the corner from where we were staying. It's not on Rojas, by the way. It's not by the embassy. You have to go a few blocks. It might even be United Nations and some other street. Anyway, we went there. We had to go around the corner. We walked maybe 2 or 3 blocks, and then we were able to find a Jeep that said Cubao on it. We went, and we were with a gal who was from Tacloban, Leyte, who was traveling back to Leyte via bus. She showed us where all the buses are, all the different bus companies. We basically ended up just choosing one, and boom, 2 hours later, we're in Angeles. Of course, traffic was challenging. Traffic was very, very bad. And so anyway, it took us a couple hours to get there. Once we were there, we were refreshed. It was pouring down rain, but we waited for the rain to stop. We grabbed our umbrellas and we headed out, started walking from the bus station down to Walking Street and where that McDonald's is, the 24-hour McDonald's right here. And we were only down the end of Walking Street is where the hotel was. So we made it. We walked. It was a pleasant walk. We weren't alone. We had company. Other people were making their way down there from the bus station, and it went beautifully. And we found the hotel quickly enough. Now, what happened at the hotel? I got to share this story with you. I think I'm suffering from cranky old man disease. Cranky old man disease. I wanted to share this with you, right? So, this is what happens when you get older, right? So now I notice. So I get this receipt. I check in. I get this receipt, and I start complaining because I thought that this said this right here. Let me see if you could see it. I thought that was $140. But you see that PHP in front of the 5,140 pesos? See that? So it was supposed to be $100. I thought they had charged me for 3 nights. I thought they had charged me like $140. And so I started being a little bit aggressive with the manager of the hotel, saying, "Hey, why did you guys charge me so much money?" And they go, "No, we charge exactly what Booking.com said to charge you." And then she looks at the receipt and she goes, "Holy moly, I see why you think that we charge you $140. Look at this crappy receipt from BDO Bank." I go, "Yeah." I go, "Oh man, I see why you were upset about that. No, we charge you in pesos. We didn't charge you in dollars." Oh, I said, "Thank you so much." So I'm having problems with vision. I have to carry around, it's not here right now because I forgot it. I left it in Cebu, but I have to carry around a magnifying glass these days. And if I'd have had mine with me, I would have been able to take the magnifying glass and I would have put it over this. I would have been able to see that they properly charged me in pesos and not in dollars. So anyway, huh, huh, huh. So now I'm turning into a crabby, old, dissatisfied man. "Hey, you bratty little kids, get off my lawn. Get off my lawn before I go get my shotgun." Well, I don't have a front lawn and I don't even have a shotgun, so you have nothing to worry about. That I was just doing an imitation of a crabby old man. Mm. But I have no complaints about this place. It is perfect, with the exception that it has a complimentary coffee stand down there in the lobby. We're on the second floor, so we have to walk down. And I've never seen a pot of coffee brewed in there. And really, that's a minor thing. I really don't want to ask, you know, after having after after having the manager pull her hair out because she had to deal with me. But in the end, she started laughing, and she goes, "Now I understand the whole thing. It's perfectly okay, perfectly normal." Hey, Mike. Hey, Joe, Mike, check this out. Man, Minnie, she threatened to eat a balut on me. She said, "Oh, yummy balut." No, no, I'm not kissing that mouth if you eat balut. I am not kissing that mouth if you eat balut. No way. And so, and also, you guys will be surprised to hear this. They have on the Walking Street an American that owns a small, I would say it's about a 4x8 kiosk, and it has a flat top in there, a flat top grill. It has got a freezer, a refrigerator, a drink machine. It has got everything in there. This dude knows what he was doing to setting this up. So I took pictures of it to share in a video later, but you'll be amazed. So I decided, hey, so I went and talked to the guy that was the two guys working behind there, working the grill. And I said, "What's this all about?" "American hamburgers, sir." "Yeah, I see that. Show me." And so the guy opens the freezer. They're frozen because, of course, if you're going to import meat or you're going to grind your own, you have to keep it frozen. You don't know who's going to come up and order a hamburger. And they had bacon burger. That's what I ordered. And then the guy says, "Do you want mayo and cheese?" I go, "No, no, 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 no. I don't do mayo and cheese in the Philippines." And he started laughing. He goes, "No, sir, no, sir. American mayo and American cheese." I said, You're crapping me." He goes, "No, no, I mean it." Show me. And so he reaches in there and he pulls out Kraft American mild cheddar cheese, and then he pulls out Best Foods mayonnaise out of the refrigerator. I looked around and I realized that sanitation in that little stand was impeccable, the best I've ever seen in the Philippines, and it inspired me. Don't get me started, food people. It inspired me. So I ordered up the burger, and it wasn't just a little teeny tiny slider burger, it was a regular American hamburger. And they were charging less than, uh, let's see, less than $2 for the bacon burger with all the bells and whistles on it. Lettuce, just like it looks like in America. I have no idea where they're getting this thing from. And so I wondered. So while I was standing there, right, people were I was there for early dinner, right? People were flocking there, flocking there. I mean, and they were Filipino, they were American, I mean, they were European. This guy scaled this perfectly so that Filipinos can afford it. He had prices for Filipino burgers, straight, uh, whatever it was, 38 or 39 cent pesos. And then he had the full on American burger, which was going for 85 pesos, and then a little extra to add bacon. So he put the cheese on the bacon, but I still passed on the mayo. But I said, "Do you have American mustard?" And sure enough, the guy reaches down, pulls out some French mustard, and put that on there, and I was in heaven. This thing tasted so fresh. I go, I'm going to franchise your operation. He started laughing. Is this the only one of these stands that there is? He goes, yes. It's a local American uh, that owns this, and it was quite inspiring to see. I've never seen anything like it in the Philippines. I'm sure there are other places like this in the Philippines. I loved it, and so I looked down to see how they were firing up that tabletop grill. It's just a small tabletop that you can get. A lot of people don't know. It's very simple. You get a propane tabletop. You could put it on a stainless steel bench. It doesn't take up any space at all. And that guy had that. That thing was four by four rows deep in burgers, and he was toasting the buns and toasting the buns. Can you guys believe that? Mike married to a beautiful woman? Yeah. No, I haven't seen the Golden Crown. Hey, Mike, I was going to say something to you. I was going to say, there's a Tim Hortons here. There's a brand new Tim Hortons in a brand new building just up half a block away from where that Denny's is. So if you're coming here, you want to partake because they have everything here. Now, I had a friend of mine that said, Dan, slow down, Dan, slow down. He was complaining about the economy, the infrastructure that exists there in that Malate Ermita area. So he said to me, he says, man, this place has not progressed at all since I started coming here 20 years ago. It looks exactly the same. Well, I think he's right about that. I actually thought about it. I gave it some thought. He's complaining, saying, "Aren't they going to put any money in this area? For infrastructure development?" We're talking about the area that's right there in Rojas, and across Rojas. Of course, you're going to have the U.S. Embassy, the Philippine Embassy. You guys know where I'm at in that part. That we were cross street. There's a Starbucks. You guys know where we're at, right? So anyway, Anime, listen to the story. He's complaining about the infrastructure. I said, yes, it's true, but they're pouring all kinds of money into areas like the Greenbelt, um, um, Bonifacio, Global City, Makati. In Cebu, you could see it all over the place. Mactan, Newtown. I mean, for crying out loud, 3 bridges now are going over to the island, Lapu-Lapu. 3 bridges. You guys remember when there was only one bridge and there was the traffic jam going over there? And also, here's the other thing. We met with a good friend. We met with Manuel Soriano. I don't know if Manuel's in here or not. Menge's in the house. Thanks for sharing everything out, you guys. I appreciate it. Girly Senna's here. Girly Senna, How are you? But anyway, so Mike, maybe you can relate to what I'm talking about. I need some support here, right? So no, that area of Manila, I have to agree, they have a long way to go. I was there at A Mabini and United Nations Drive there, Mike, back in the day when they put in the first traffic light. I don't know if you remember this story or not. I was standing right there, and even though they had the lights going, they had a whole platoon of military personnel and national police and local police and traffic enforcement, and they could not stop the traffic from going through those lights. They didn't care what the hell, lights or no lights, we're going, you know. And finally, some dude with stripes shows up. I see him having a conversation with somebody. They all gave up. They went over to the side of the road and they started smoking, taking a break. And then all of a sudden, somebody shows up with stripes, and he's yelling and screaming at everybody. The next thing you know, they're forming like a barricade going each way across that street, and they're telling those people in sign language and in sign language by pointing their rifles at them. You will stop for this light. You will stop. If you don't stop, you're going to die today. And then everybody started to stop. But I went back there the next day, and guess what? The same thing was happening. They were going through the lights. They were laughing like, you ain't putting no light here. We're Filipino. We're Filipino. We're going to go through and do what the hell we do. The lights are only a suggestion. Of course, now in that part of town, you have traffic lights everywhere, and people are obeying them. So you see, progress takes time. It takes time, but that does not mean that it doesn't mean that the country of the Philippines is not doing well economically. Yes, there's inflation. There's definitely inflation. The price of rice is going crazy. It never seems to come down. It only goes up, 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 and it's burdensome. It is very, very burdensome. Yeah, as Mike here points out, chaos reigns here in the Philippines. Always has, always will. That's part of the charm of the Philippines. Accept it, deal with it, or don't come here. I just happen to love it. What to complain about taking your life into your own hands while crossing the street? You know what I mean? You have to get some enjoyment out of life. It's a game of Frogger, See if you make it across the street. So far, so good. I have figured out how to cross the street in the Philippines. Why would I want to go back home to the States now? I figured how everything works here. Okay, let's bring up. So, Bohol has lots of lights and signs for vehicles. Yeah, but do they obey them, Mike? That's the question. Do they obey them? All right, let's bring up. Well, anyway, I think I'm looking at Edward D. Beck in the green room, and he's starting to turn green. So let's bring let's bring Edward D. Beck up. He's starting. His skin is actually starting to turn green. There he is, the Mac Daddy himself. What's up, Mac Daddy?
Hey Dan, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing good, but I saw your Larry in the chat earlier.
Larry's got a new video out. He went on his way to Terre Haute. He had lunch somewhere or dinner.
We're gonna have to go check out his video.
Yeah,
And
everybody check out Larry's new video. Love you, Larry.
yeah, yeah.
I
Oh
liked your
yeah.
video the other day from Manila too, Dan. That was a great informational video.
Oh yeah. Thanks. Oh, you mean the intramurals was now, Mike? Mike sent me a chat later. Mike was saying Mike Hey Joe Buenavista Dreamin' was saying that there was a big battle. See, this is why it's so important to know or to learn your Filipino history, because I mean my eyes were like this. They got so wide. Man, Minnie was like she was walking next to me. She's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" I said, "This something happened here. Something happened here." See, I don't know the history. We walked out of immigration, started walking down the street, And of course, I didn't want to get bombarded by the taxi mafia. So I was trying to avoid them. I just wanted to walk and get away from that area of the immigration office because those folks they want to charge you all kind. They want to get rich on a single taxi ride. So I said, we'll figure out later. We'll just start walking. Then I realized where I was, and then I freaked out. My eyes got this big. I go, oh my God, this is, I said, this is an amazing place. This is an amazing place. I'm sure, very historical part of Manila. And sure enough, Mike, hey Joe, he says to me, Dan, you know where you're at, right? No. He's very gentle, when he sends messages.
Well, share
Learn
it with us.
history, you fool. Learn your history. I could barely point on the map and show you where Boise is. If I can do that, I usually end up pointing out Winnemucca on a map. Oh my God. I can barely point out where New York City is. What's further north, Boston or New York City? I cannot
Boston.
tell you. I didn't know. For the longest time, I thought New York City was north of Boston.
Wow.
I mean, I'm geographically challenged. All right. Anyway, I'm so excited because all those things are very, very exciting experiences to have. But anyway, I was going to say, Mac Daddy. So here we were stressed about all this paperwork, right? And Minnie will tell you, I turn into a different animal when it comes time to start doing visa paperwork and all this crap. It's because this in the Philippines will kill you. It will kill you. They want this, they want that. Second born child, copy of this, copy of that. So we find our way to the immigration office because we really don't know what to do. We've gathered up all the documents. Minnie's niece, is it your niece or your cousin? Minnie's cousin, Jackie Lynn, who's very, very nice and helpful, helped us fill out the application and everything. And then we had all the documents. So we went down there, and Minnie was like, and they hand her a new form, another one, almost identical to the one that we filled out. You'll have to fill this one out. I'm telling Minnie, we got this other one we already filled out that Jackie Lynn helped you fill out. No, they're not. They want you to check this out. The forms that we got in Cebu at the immigration office and the forms we pulled down from the Philippine Embassy Manila are completely different. They're not the same form. And so
Did
we
they hit
get
you with the fee?
yeah, we get to Intramuros, and they give her another form and said, "No, this is the one that we accept." Can you believe it? I was pulling out my hair, so I was getting upset. Man, Minnie was getting upset at me. Calm down, Dan. Calm down, Dan. This is the Philippines. You need patience to live here. Patience.
Well,
Something
you know
I
what they
like.
say. That
I'm
immigration
American.
form is big enough to keep you
Personal.
warm when the cold winds are blowing.
Yeah, no. And so the clerk is watching this interaction, and then finally she calls over to Man Minnie, and she says, "Well, he's American. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? He's American. Right? What are you gonna do? Give me the form. I'm gonna help you fill it out." And so they sat there for 15 minutes, filled out the form, and then she says, "Now all you have to do is do this. Take this checklist, go to this window," and then she goes to a series of 4 or 5 windows, and from that point on, it was very well organized. And we only need a copy of this, and this, 4 forms, and on that original application, it says bring everything, everything. By the way, we owe a debt of gratitude to Jackie Lynn because here's what happens, right? Minnie's birth certificate was deemed to be what do they call it? Not acceptable because they have a new system. It's called PSA, I don't know what PSA stands for. It has something to do with, it does not have something to do with your prostate. But anyway, a little American old man joke, right? So anyway, it's PSA office, right? PSA. So what happened is online, Jackie Lynn on her phone. I don't even know how you guys do that. I can't even see it. Fills out an application, and within 24 hours, a copy of Minnie's birth certificate was arriving at Jackie Lynn's house by special courier. I was friggin' amazed. And so Jackie Lynn, she video calls us. She was living quite a ways from where we were at the hotel, and she says she's holding it. I got it. I got it. And she was so excited. And we took those documents. By the way, we ordered 3 certified copies, which was a little bit pricey, but 3 certified copies plus paid the expedited fee, whatever it was. It was 1,000 pesos, $20. 3 copies got to Jackie Lynn's house. Jackie Lynn, after work, gets on the motor and brings it to us at the hotel, hand delivers it at 12:30 or 1 a.m. in the morning, so we would have it ready to go the next day. And by the way, Larice had we had invited Larice to join us at the Bayview Hotel, and I don't even know. Larice probably was sleeping. I don't even know if Larice knew what was going on. That at 1 a.m. or somewhere around there, we get the phone call. I'm here. Come downstairs. We went downstairs to the lobby, and there was Jackie Lynn, great big smile on her face, holding the hermetically sealed package, saying, "Here it is, mission accomplished." So that I compliment the Philippines on. They're going high tech. I mean, really, really high tech.
All that so
Let's.
you can stamp the stamp and fee to fee.
Oh yeah. Lazy Larry is pointing out that PSA stands for. Well, you can see it in the chat. Well, anyway, okay, I'll own that. All right, now, Filipina Raquel is there. Filipina Raquel. Speaking of debts of gratitude, I owe you one. You pushed it out. You pushed out my channel so much in the last couple of days. I really, really appreciate it. It's amazing the results. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. We'll be chatting with you later. Okay, now, Mike, do you get this kind of service in Canada? And why are all the famous talk show hosts from Canada? I still don't understand that. How could they come over here from Canada to the United States and talk about conservative politics in the United States? Never mind. We'll talk about that later, Mike. I have all these things floating around in my mind. So, Edward D. Beck, listen to this. So,
I'm listening.
we were done after all this. Jackie Lynn bringing, which I thought was going to be a huge roadblock, turned out not to be. Everything is going electronic now in the Philippines, even though I understand Terminal 3 got shut down from a power outage, according to Tim Desiak. Tim was saying, "Oh no, Dan, Terminal 3 shut down again. They lost power. What the hell?" But other than that, the whole place is turning electronic, digital, and before you know it, we're going to have digital everything. So anyway, can you imagine going into, let's say, a Philippine massage parlor and then getting some robot coming out, massaging your feet? The whole thing.
If you're going in to get your feet massaged,
I mean, it's amazing to me. The whole thing. Listen, do you think your girlfriend would get jealous if you went in to get a foot massage from a female robot? Girly Senna, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Crystals, thanks for that message. Crystals, by the way, I cannot find that. I can't. I had to send him a Facebook message. I can't figure out how you make a reservation at that resort. All right, we'll set that up. Crystals, I'll be chatting with you online shortly.
Think about the massage parlor. You can call it Lovetron.
Also, I have another thing for you, right? Will the female robot have cold hands? That's the other thing.
Of course not. They'll think of everything.
See, that's a problem. That's the problem with the whole idea.
Rubber
Uh,
gloves, lots of lotion. Come on, baby. Woohoo!
all right. So you what? You went and saw a robot for a massage? Is there something wrong with you? You know, robots are everywhere. You know it all. They're all in different forms. If
Well,
you think that you haven't used a robot, you probably have. You just didn't realize that it was a robotic.
it'll be a robot in the produce business. It'll be able to make your banana stand.
No, we're not talking banana stands here. We're not talking about those kind of robots. But they're coming. They're coming, and if they're coming, never mind. All right. Now, what were we going to talk about today? Oh yeah, yeah. So I've spent what 30 minutes or so, 40 minutes or so, talking about this experience. Anyway, it's all documented on videos. By the way, I just want to let you guys know, right? How many famous YouTubers we have run into so far. I mean, who is not a famous YouTuber in Angelo City? And this has been happening to me. Even though I have not been approached, so far I have yet to be approached. I'm getting looks. I'm getting looks. People are pointing fingers at me. People are saying, hey, that guy over there looks familiar, familiar, familiar. But I have not approached any of these famous, very well known YouTubers. I have not. I leave them alone. I'm not starstruck at the moment. And so,
You
so far,
probably,
Minnie
you
has
probably,
also seen them. Minnie, we were on, what's the name of it? What's the name of the street that Philander used to, what's his name? He used to hang out at the Black Pearl. Santos. Oh, Santos. Yeah. So we went down there for nostalgic reasons, folks. Nostalgia. That's the only reason why we took a walk down there. And I recognize that a couple of bars that I've seen, or one bar in particular that I've seen on Brian's channel, Philly in the Philippines. So of course we had to go in there, and I had to bug them. And of course, whenever I do this, Minnie just cringes. Like you're going to go in there, they're not going to know what the hell you're talking about. But they did. I go walking in there and said, "Hey, I saw you on TV. I saw you on YouTube." And they go, "Yeah, that was me. I was on Brian's channel, Philly in the Philippines. He interviewed me in one of his videos." Oh yeah. Well, come on. Minnie, come on. Let's go in there and let's go in and have a beer. So we did, and they talked a little bit about how friendly of a guy Brian is, and how he's they'll see him 2 or 3 times a week in the neighborhood there doing his videos, talking to himself. Everybody is so used to seeing him that it's no big deal. You know, it's no big deal anymore.
he's a hell of a nice guy.
Yeah, Mike is saying it's not you, Dan. It's not the hat. It's Minnie. Yeah, you're probably right. I give
I don't
myself
know.
way.
I think it's that big safari hat there, mate.
Yeah, I think so. I see. Without it, everybody just. I don't get the attention. But when I'm wearing it, they're pointing at me. They're pointing at me.
It's it's a jungle out there.
Yes, it is a jungle out there, and they're all here in Angelo City. All the animals are here in Angelo City.
You
So
can't
anyway,
swing a dead cat without hitting a blogger in Angeles City.
I have not gotten into any kind of trouble other than at check-in when I started making a fool of myself, saying, "Hey, why are you
Hey,
charging
man.
dollars? Yeah, why are you charging me in dollars? We're not, sir. Look at this receipt." And I show her. She actually had printed out the entire. She printed out on her laser printer 3 pages of my reservation that shows my name, my credit card, everything on here, right? Saying that no, we charge you exactly what we were supposed to charge you. Anyway, we'll set that aside. The manager hasn't said a word since to me since check-in, and we're going to be out of here. When are we going to be out of here tomorrow? Tomorrow, yeah. All right. So anyway, Laurice, I don't know if you guys know it or not, but Larice gave me a gift. You've probably seen it on the video on a couple of shorts, right? This is Larice. Now, if you go on Larice's channel, you're going to see this.
Oh, your
You're
new
gonna,
dog.
yeah, my new pet, my
I've
pet,
seen him.
right? This thing is cool, right? This thing is totally cool. It's a gift from Larice. Oh, I see Leonard Lund in the green room. Should we bring him up?
Yes,
Okay,
our
see,
brother Leonard.
this is random. You never know when the. Oh,
Oh,
dang!
oh,
That hurt like hell. I'm going to set you aside for a moment. I need to get a leash for that dog. So, anyway, that was a gift. That's a gift from Larice. So, I'm having a little bit of fun with it. Okay, so there
Hey
is.
everybody,
hi,
What's up,
Leonard.
Leonard?
how you doing?
I was looking for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had the notification set, but it didn't go off.
I hate when
Uh,
it don't go off.
Yeah,
uh, me
now
too.
most of the time it works that way.
Yeah. Dan, are you what? Dan, are you reliving your childhood? Yes. That's
Nothing
what
wrong with that.
happens when you get older. All right. So where were we? Where were you? We were gonna talk travel and stuff, but no, no, no. Forget all that. Forget all that because I mean it's loosely related. But so I was looking at. I don't know if I could find it right now, but I was looking at how well first of all you guys know that I always go into Steve's channel and watch a couple of videos before coming live. I always go in there to see what's happening. I go and I'll go into P's channel, I'll go into Steve to see what's going on. I don't know what to make of it, Leonard. I don't know what to make of it. What do you make of it, Leonard?
Make a what?
His videos lately.
Oh, they're changing.
Yeah, they're changing. Yes. Why though?
He's
Why
like,
is it?
I don't know if he's trying to just give us. Hey Tim, I don't know if he's trying to just give us new information, or it's not really like he's trying to discourage everybody, but it's not as encouraging as it has been. He's
Yeah,
almost like a fearmonger.
yeah. In the beginning, Steve was
Hey,
very
Larry.
enthusiastic, saying that. But he continues to say that the main reason for coming to the Philippines is cheap rent. And so I agree. And so let me I want to expand on that a little bit, right? Uh, will the question is that you have to ask yourself is that will the Philippines eventually look like the United States in terms of the cost of rental housing? And my idea is no, that it will never look that way. And
Yeah,
so
I
it will
have to
always be an
agree.
option.
I think that if it does, it's going to be. We're not going to be here to worry about it. It's
Yeah,
going to be
there you
way
go.
down the road.
Right. I think it's down the road a piece. And I think it's because right now they have adequate supply to meet the demand. But
Yes.
Steve made some interesting points that I concur with. I'd like to talk about a couple of them. The first one is that he said that caught my attention is he said we're seeing more educated foreigners arrive in the Philippines to live here permanently more than he's ever seen before. And that is one of the things that's one of the things that I noticed a long time ago is that we're seeing folks that are from all walks of life.
Yeah.
They're all
Well,
walks of life. There's
that's
doctors,
because that's
there were
because it
salesmen, there were
sucks so
lawyers.
bad here.
Um, hmm,
Well, here's
yeah,
a point for you.
say something about that, but then that always inevitably leads into us to discussing indictments and things like that. Let's set that aside.
Where I live in the United States, it's very economical to live.
Yeah,
For the first time in 20 years last year, they had a lot of people move in.
you have a population exodus from your area. Edward
That's
D.
a
Best.
very heavy one, and it's
Yeah.
been that way for more than 40 years.
There's a
Now
reason
they're
why
coming
they're
back, huh?
escaping.
They're
There's a
all
reason
moving back,
why they live
and
there.
one of the things that they build
Hey,
here now
Raquel,
is
Beth
military
Dahlgren is
hardware.
here.
Beth,
They're building a lot of military hardware in this area too.
Jaylen,
Jalen is here. Hi, Jalen.
Anna Mae Reyes, how are you?
By the way, it was Tim. I don't know if Tim's listening in the background or he wants to comment. Tim said, Dan, don't even bother going to those places that you wanted to show what the military uh, is like, what they're doing,
Oh, they're not
because
going to let you in.
you won't see them. He said you won't see them. They don't let them out.
Yep. They're not
Yeah,
going to let you see them.
Yeah, it's a PR thing. They're invisible. It's a PR thing. They're out doing patrol. That's what he said. Tim would
Yeah.
know. Tim be knowing.
Yep.
So
Tim be
I'm taking
knowing.
his word for it. I'm taking his word for it.
Yeah.
What does Mike say here? Mike's saying all kinds of the great contributions. I miss them. They don't have to pay the employees more, or homelessness would be everyone who is making $10 or more per day. But you see, this is why, Mike. This is why I'm saying that basic income is coming, and you guys think that the Philippines is behind on this way of thinking. They are not. They just do not talk about it. This is not hitting the news every single day. There's no news story talking about basic income. There's no news story talking about digital currency being controlled by the central bank. There's no news about the central bank being the Bitcoin exchange, the exclusive cryptocurrency exchange in the Philippines by law. Wake up, people. Wake up.
I did
Change
hear something about that possibility.
Change is coming.
Girly Cena, how are you?
Girly Sena or Senna? Senna.
I don't know. I'm just a poor American.
You know
I'm
why
not
it's
sure
called-
how to pronounce that.
You know why it's called Crystal's Adventures? Because she's very adventurous.
Well,
That's
they're
why.
saying within 5 years in the United States that all the fast food joints will be robotic.
Yeah, they most likely will be, but
the thing is, though,
it
that
won't
may
happen
well
in
be
the
true.
Philippines that way. It will not happen in the Philippines that way. I can give you 10, 20,
Probably
100
20 years out in the Philippines.
Yeah, because they
Good
have
stuff.
an educated young population,
Right.
and I mean it's young. I mean young. I mean, what's the average
You're
age
talking
here?
20.
You're talking 18, 20 years old.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of going on all over Asia and the Middle East. Most of the
Everywhere
people
but
in
US.
that whole section of the world have
Well,
been
it's
born
been-
since the year 2000.
They're
It's been
aging
going
out.
on in the Middle East a long time.
Yes, but here's the thing. Yeah, the Middle East.
Hey, Larice.
You have to watch. India could be the dream killer in this whole thing.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what. The Philippines has the youngest educated working population, but so does India. But the English is better here. That's the danger. The danger is that to India, the challenge to India is they don't like customers. Westerners don't like the East Indian accent when they speak English, and I don't know why that is.
Well, some of them are very hard to understand.
Don't you tell me that.
Yeah.
Don't get me started,
Yeah.
Edward.
Don't you tell me that, you Mr. Don.
Edward, don't get me started.
Look, I don't know who you think you are to come on this channel and talk to them
That
about that.
is not allowed on this channel. That is not allowed. You know that. Mike says, what is the only country that uses cryptocurrency as a country currency? Is that in South America? Is this a trick question, Mike? Don't we have some South American country that uses cryptocurrency as the national currency?
None I've heard of.
I think he's right. I think there's one country that does.
Well, I hadn't heard about it if it is.
Well, they got hit really bad recently.
Maurice. Tim says the military coming to the Philippines is here to work, not to get training. Oh, he's saying we're being sold a bill of goods. They will train the Philippines military in the field so they get actual experience. They're going to blow up
That's no bill of goods. That's what, as I understood it.
I thought they were opening training facilities here,
Oh no.
land-based training
Well,
facilities,
there's probably going to be some that also, but no,
but they're hidden
basically,
from view, apparently.
The Americans told the Chinese last week to leave the Filipino
Ah,
ships alone.
Mike be known,
yeah.
the cryptocurrency country is El Salvador.
Mm, very small economy.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know much about it. I
You're
will
That's
gonna,
admit.
why.
you're going to see digital currency come for the cell
Yes.
phone.
No
Be able to do
racist.
all your banking on your cell
No
phone.
racist allowed, please. And Mike, I respect a lot, right? Even though I didn't see anything wrong with it,
I
his
was not
channel,
doing any racism.
he changed his channel name from Mike married to a beautiful Filipina to Mike married to a beautiful woman. It was a beautiful way of honoring his wife and Filipinas. It was a beautiful, beautiful way of honoring.
Either way,
the
it
Filipino people.
honors her. So that's good.
Yes,
I wasn't
that's
doing
true.
anything racist.
Let's
Nobody
see.
else was that I know
What,
of.
hey, whatever you say, Mac Daddy. Whatever you say. Hey. Good morning, Sir Dan, Sir Leonard, and it's LV. Everybody at the same time.
Hey,
LB,
LV,
LB,
LV,
LB.
LV.
LV. I have so much fun doing that. I have
Yeah,
no
she says
idea.
good morning, Sir Larry. Also,
Yeah, I mean, I get so much enjoyment out of simple pleasures, you know.
I'm
I've
missing Lazy
noticed that.
Larry up here.
Yeah.
He should be able
Larry
to
saw.
come up on his.
I
He should
thought
be able to
Larry
come
was
up
on
on
the
his
road.
cell phone.
Didn't Larry say he was on the road?
Yes,
I
he's on
think
the
he
road
is. Yeah,
again.
Yeah.
He's on his way to Terre Haute, Indiana.
yeah. He's probably in a hotel by now,
Probably sitting there in his boxers.
unless he stayed last night
Hmm.
and he's just driving into Terre Haute.
Hmm.
They got to be some big boxers, boy.
Let's
Huh?
see. Thanks so much for being here, Filipina Raquel. Oh, Filipina Raquel. So here's the deal, Filipina Raquel and Daisy Lynn. If you're listening in the background, because I think you're doing your live.
No
I will
problem.
be making. So, Man, Minnie, and I we discussed this. So we're meeting with our relatives over the next couple of days. So even though we're going to be in the area, we won't be meeting with you and Daisy Lynn this time. We're going to set up another trip when Man Minnie has to come back and take the citizenship oath. Then we'll be coming to Bulacan and that area, and then
Yeah.
that area where Daisy Lynn lives. And I think Filipina Raquel and Daisy Lynn are within 30 or 40 minutes of each other. And so we'll be doing it then, Filipina Raquel. I wanted to touch bases with you on that. So we won't be able to make it this time, but we are going to be able to make it. We tried every way to set it up where we could take a bus to where you are, Filipina Raquel, but it would require an overnight stay and then get on the bus, go to Pangasinan, and then if we decide we're going to go to north to Baguio City, I don't know. It didn't work right. So on the next trip, which will probably be within a month, and it's whenever Minnie gets the call to come back to Manila, we'll be visiting. Hopefully, we'll be visiting with yourself and Daisy Lynn Castro. And I know I didn't talk about. I know I'm just publicly talking about this. I didn't talk to you about it in advance in the chat, so I apologize about that. In the messenger, I mean. Ha, Dan, thank you for the warm jingle. Welcome. Yeah, I bet you dream about it. You dream about that in your sleep, LV.
We
That's
got
the
to have
whole.
a Dan and Minnie concert in the Philippines.
Yeah, that's the whole. That's the whole
Oh,
idea.
Dan's and his sisters, and they don't have internet. So
Oh
he
yeah,
did say something about that.
internet. What's that, Larry?
Dude,
What's that?
Larry's had his sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told him McDonald's, man.
Yeah. Well,
One of
Who
these
has
days.
the largest
if he
prison?
just got in, he's going to want to
Salvador.
relax.
Oh, you're talking El Salvador, aren't you, Mike? Yeah. Elvie is my asawa. I like Elvie a lot.
Elvie's
Elvie,
cool.
I realize I haven't been in the channel. lately. We're not forgetting about each other, are we? LV, how could you forget a guy like that does
Yeah.
this for you? LV.
Well, she's here every time, so I don't
Yeah,
think
so I
think
really
she
appreciate
forgot
that.
you. You just
I
owe her
have
a
been
few
in Terre
visits.
Haute since Wednesday. I'll be leaving on Monday. Okay. All right. So now, what were we talking about? Okay. So who's coming? Who's coming to the Philippines? Post-war baby boomers in droves. So Steve was making the point that he's seeing more educated people, and for the first time, he's saying, I don't know if he said first time, more couples, husband and wives, and he says not husband and Filipina mixed couples. He's saying couples from Europe, couples from the United States, couples from all over the world. By the way, guys, is Bud Brown? Did I hear Bud Brown is in Mexico now? Leonard,
He,
you
Uh,
know?
I
yeah,
think
I
he's at his
know.
son's house in California.
He's at his daughter's house in California,
Yes.
but the son is right
Tim,
close.
Tim, are you
They
there?
went.
Someone go into the channel and see if he's in Mexico.
They no. He went to Mexico for a day.
Ah,
They and
we're
uh,
in Pampanga, Angeles City right now, Filipina, Raquel.
But Bud's wife wants to be near them grandbabies.
He
yeah,
went for a day. Leonard, what are you talking about? You mean he didn't stay?
no, they did. They went down there. They had to. They were going to meet somebody or something. I don't remember the
They're going
exact
to
reason.
meet a friend about a house. Hey, Leonard,
No,
what's your prediction about how this is going to turn out?
they'll
What's
stay
your
in San
prediction?
Diego.
Huh?
They
What?
will stay in San Diego.
You saw Bud Brown's video on how he was talking about the culture shock, right?
Yep.
Did you see Tim K's video where he was talking about the same thing?
Think I saw part of it,
Yeah.
but I saw Bud Brown's latest video, and that was when they went down to can't even remember.
Hmm.
They
All right.
they went to Mexico. They went down to a McDonald's, and they went to this one restaurant that a friend of theirs aunt owned, and they showed it a little bit. Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went back to the states.
Mm-hmm. So
But there was no
you don't
there was
think that
no
there's a
talk or,
chance?
or discussion of any houses or anything.
All right. So what do you think? You think? See, here's my prediction. He will be back here.
Oh no, that is more likely than Mexico, I think,
I think so.
because
I think you're
he's
right about
found out.
that.
Yeah, he's found out that the cost in Mexico is way higher than it is here. Or
Yeah. So
I
Bulacan.
mean
So
there.
um,
I'm not here. I'm not there, but
yeah,
in
it's
the
about an hour
Philippines.
away. I saw that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Filipina Raquel, we're gonna be waiting. We're gonna see you on the next. We'll be messaging you through Messenger, and we're gonna see you on the next trip. It isn't gonna be long. It's gonna be a very short period of time. Over there at immigration, they said it could be up to 4 months, but the locals are saying, oh, they're calling people right away to go take the oath of citizenship. So it
I
probably won't be
that
any longer
sounds
than
yeah,
two
that
months.
sounds pretty believable because
Yeah.
they want their people back.
Yeah, oh, dang, you made the point that I wanted to make, Leonard. Thank you so much. They want them back. That's what I was going to say at the immigration office. So
Yeah.
the stress reliever was that they handled Minnie with kid gloves. In
You
other
know
words,
why they want him back so bad?
she's married to me, and I'm not a slouch.
Well, that's it. Do re mi money.
Exactly. They know that I'm attached to her. That
Yeah.
I'm attached. As
But
soon as
they
she gets
that's
this done, then I can get my
but they
what's it
don't
called?
want their young women leaving in the first place.
Well, that's true. Actually, that is true.
However, it's true, but the U.S. makes it harder than they need to, and it's
Hmm.
not just the Philippines. my ex was from Kenya, and she had to go through the same stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same requirements to come that the Philippines has. So it's not. And she
Yeah, the
came on a
U.S.
student
makes it
visa.
very difficult for immigration, and they've never fixed it in 40 years. They're
Bit
not.
longer than that.
Yeah, well,
They
they're just
haven't. They never fixed it.
right, but they're nuts because the sad part of the hard truth is we need these immigrants in this country to make our economy work.
Uh,
So
Well,
they could,
our entire country is built on the backs of immigrants, and our government has got to figure that out.
and in the
but so is the
population
Philippines.
cycle, Leonard,
This is the
you're
point.
you're good. But let's
Point.
go to the other. Let's go to the other block. In the population cycle, we need 1 million low cost workers minimum.
Bite your
And
tongue.
Yeah.
Why can't you just say we need immigrants instead of adding all that other crap in there?
well,
Exactly.
but I'm not saying that they're
Very,
necessarily low
very,
cost
very
workers, but that
frustrating.
they're
On certain subjects, Edward D. Beck, it could be a little bit frustrating,
Yeah.
well, I'm
because
sorry, but we just
just
need people.
you just say
Amen, gay.
immigrant, but we know this is one of the reasons why, in my opinion, Edward. So speaking of what you've said, and setting the low cost thing aside, uh, we need immigrants,
Yep.
and this is one of the
And
reasons why. This is one of the reasons why the current administration, they know that they know that people are coming across the border, but really the effort really isn't at trying to prevent them from crossing.
no,
It's because we need the population, and it
well,
reminds me.
we're not increasing population enough
Right,
Right.
by
And here's
exactly.
the other
ourselves.
thing:
It's increasing by immigration alone.
if you let
Pretty
them in and
much.
give them a green card, what are they going to do when they're working here?
No,
Pay
wait a minute. Wait
taxes.
a minute. To take
Pay
the place
taxes.
of me.
Me and Leonard talk about this all the time.
Now
They're
listen.
paying taxes.
The fact
Yep.
is that the fact is there's 70 million of us retiring. They're not taking my job away. I'm just letting you know.
No,
If that's where you were going with this, they're
no,
not
it's not.
taking my
It's
job
not.
away.
No, we're
No,
And
not.
Ed wasn't going there at all.
We're
We
saying we
need the
need these
people
people just by attrition.
because, right, just by
just by
attrition,
attrition,
because
exactly.
we are not producing enough ourselves,
Right.
and there are way more jobs available than there are people willing to
Yes.
take them.
And when I
Exactly.
say Leonard, I mean not Leonard, Dan, when I say low wage people, I don't mean, that
I'm
it's
not the
not a
low wage
wholesome
guy.
job.
Besides that, you could say low wage, but that's not reality. The
Well,
reality
it's not
is
because
that
if there's after they're
the
here a few
reality
years,
is we have a very competitive workforce, and that
yes,
means an increase in wages.
and
And the
a
problem
few
is,
years after them arriving and they get skilled, they go right up in numbers.
right
Try and
here in the
hire a
Philippines,
landscaper
that's one of the
in the
main
Philadelphia
problems.
market for less than $20 an hour. You can't.
What keeps wages depressed here in the Philippines is they have a tremendous supply of labor.
Yes.
Right?
Right. And
You have
so if
too
you don't
much
want
labor, not enough
if you
jobs.
complain because you're not making enough wages,
We got too
they just
much
replace
jobs and
you.
not enough labor.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Opposite problem.
Yep. But
Yeah.
see, there are those in our government, without getting political, who don't want immigration. They want to stop it.
Well,
If
there's
they would
those in
just
our
look,
government
if they
that
would
want
just look
white
at the,
immigration,
yeah,
and yet there's not enough of it in the world. Period. There's just not enough
exactly.
white man to bring through the border. And I don't know, and that's a racist thing to say, and I'm not saying that for myself.
Yeah,
I want to see just people come here.
we need them.
Yes,
Yeah, what they need to do is fix the system so they can come legally. That way, you'll get them a green card, you get
There's
them on the
Community
tax
Cal.
rolls, you know,
and it'll help
and
our budget, our deficit,
exactly.
our whole
And
health system, everything.
and these clowns that are talking about wanting to cut Social Security can go sit on it because there will be enough money coming in.
Yes, we'll have a whole new system. We'll have wonderful people. Most of these people that immigrate here aren't
They're
drug
great.
addicts and drug
No,
dealers and
most of them are
thieves
great.
and
Mike, you're
criminals.
killing me.
They're wonderful people.
Mike's cracking me up.
And they want the same thing the whole world wants.
Here.
They want pizza on Friday night, chicken for dinner on Sundays, and just to be good citizens.
Yep.
Naomi's here.
I met enough of these people from Peru, Guatemala, Mexico, in a lot of
I've worked with a lot of them.
yes, I have too in my business life. They're great people.
Yep.
God, they've never made me feel so warm, wanted, and good.
Oh, look at this. What Tim says. Bud Brown doesn't like his daughter's house because it's too far from the coffee shop. I'll tell you what. If that happened to me, I'm out. I'm the hell out of here.
Yep.
I don't care if you're giving me free rent. I ain't staying.
Yeah. He'll be back. No,
You got
I
to get me
think
one
if,
of those electric bike things so I can get around.
yeah, I
I'll
think
put a little. I'll
before,
put a flag up there.
yeah,
I'll put
my
one of
own
them flags
opinion,
up there.
I think before they go to Mexico, they'll come back here. They'll go back to Philippines. Here I am
I don't
talking
think they're
like
going to
I'm
leave
there.
California.
I really don't either.
I think they're going to stay with her family because she wants to stay with her family.
She wants to be around the grandkids. And you can't blame her for that, you know?
No, I mean it's familia, as the Italians would say. It's the family.
Who's that, Larry?
Is that Bud? Is that Bud Brown you're talking about, Larry?
That's possible. I don't know.
Well, that would be nice, but that's not like establishing permanent residency in Mexico. I think that's what his idea was initially.
Yeah. They were definitely talking about that, but he did
Yeah.
say that if it didn't work out, because he was aware there's going to be changes. If it didn't work out, he was
All
going to
right.
go back.
Tim says I'm a great slouch when I try. Well, thank you so much, Tim. Hey, so now let's go back to Steve a little bit. So let's go back and talk about how he's not letting go. And remember, I'm like this, and so I'm not critiquing him. I'm just making statements. I'm just pointing out things that you've said, that I've said, that are very, very similar. I've said things are getting more expensive.
Yeah.
They cost more than they ever have before here. Rent is
Right.
not one of those things that I think is the problem here.
No, as I understand it, and
Yeah.
I've been talking to people and looking, you know,
Yes.
and then I'm aware of what Eleanor found for you.
Right.
So, rent doesn't seem to be the problem.
No, it's
No.
commodities and energy.
Yeah, and medical. As Steve said, Steve was talking about his latest sciatica issues and how he's having therapy done and all this other stuff. But I think that it's eating into his budget. He was pointing out. Am I right about that, Leonard? Didn't he say that?
That was kind of the gist that I got from it.
Yeah.
He needs
He's
one of them little
saying-
Filipino girls to do rubs.
And so he's saying, be prepared because it's difficult. He said it's difficult. It eats into your budget. He has to get well. I mean, he wants to be able to get around. He's got a lot of responsibility to his expat group and other things, right? So
I'm dealing with that here myself in America.
yeah.
I developed lymphedema, and it's a real issue. My legs swell, my
How much are you
feet
paying out of
swell.
pocket for your care?
Huh?
How much are you paying out of pocket for your care?
I have good insurance, but I
See,
don't
that
have.
was his point was
Yep.
is that in some
I'll get back in a
cases
second.
you're going to be better off in the United States. That was his point that he was trying to make.
I agree with him.
Yeah, I agree with him also.
It's like financially for me
What if
because of my
before?
situation.
What if
Well,
before?
let me put this one on you. My my friend in the Philippines, who I would like to share my life with, to bring her to the United States would be my best option. She pays a lot of money for her children's education in the Philippines, and that's cost covered in the United States. On top of that, she needs to make an income to support her family.
Right.
So she'll do better in the United States than in the Philippines.
My audio.
Where she's struggling all the time, I'm always having to help her out. So
I missed a bunch. My audio got muted.
Mike is saying if you've been to Canada, if you're a Filipino, you've been to Canada once, it's a piece of cake to get back in there and get a visa. $7 done electronically online.
and you can walk into the United States at Derby Line, Vermont. Across the street, you're in the United States.
I've been through that border crossing, by the way. I'd just like to point that out.
Beautiful.
There's several of them like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Right there above. Are you talking about above St. Albans, Vermont?
Yes. Derby
Yeah.
Line.
Right.
One side you're in Toronto, Canada. The other side you're in the United States.
Yep.
You mean Quebec?
I don't know. I thought it was Toronto, but okay, probably
No,
Quebec.
Toronto's in the middle of the.
Oh, it's Quebec then.
Yeah, I think it's Quebec. Yeah, Montreal. You're just below Montreal.
And they're tightening it up too. They want to close it off.
Oh, they will.
But see, here's the whole misunderstanding
Yeah,
some people have. Not here in this group, by the way. I don't believe so. They aren't Mexicans that are migrating. All right, so
Most
get
of them
that.
aren't. That's right.
Yes, some of them are, but the majority of them are not from Mexico. If you go over to Mexico, they're working in Walmart. They're working in the auto manufacturing.
Well, a lot of
plants.
them are seasonal workers from Guatemala and stuff.
They're from
Guatemala, Peru, Honduras.
All are
Right.
Central American, most of them.
Exactly.
You know
They're
what's
not-
funny about all those Spanish people?
You ask somebody at the border.
Hey,
yeah, they're
Gurley, are you
Mexican.
telling us to stay home?
They hate each other.
I've heard that.
Oh my God! The Guatemalans hate the Hondurans. The Colombians hate everybody.
I think everybody hates the Hondurans, from what I've heard.
Brutal.
I don't really know why.
Now, I don't know what it is either, but I used to sell Spanish beer in Philadelphia.
Manufacturing, I kind of doubt here in the USA because we're not manufacturing anything. But
Sure, we are.
farming, industrial farming is taking
You know what
over.
we're manufacturing in the USA? Military weapons, heavily in the
was gonna say- I
Johnstown,
was gonna say,
Pennsylvania
Oh,
area.
that's right.
Yeah.
Munitions in
Yeah.
Idaho.
Oh,
Yep.
we make, you know, them shoulder launched javelins? They're made
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
We're also making the new assault vehicles. They got a $300 million contract. And they get it like every year. They come in and have a
Yeah,
big
yeah. I don't
convention.
think anybody here was saying, Lazy Larry, that we're for illegal immigration. Nobody said that.
No.
We don't want
an
illegal immigration. We want to do it legally.
Fix the
Right.
system and make it so these people can actually legally get here in some
Right.
kind of a
Create a
reasonable
path.
way.
They don't even want to come in illegally. That's a big point,
No,
too,
they really don't. They're only doing that
to
and
feed their
risking
family.
lives because they're desperate.
Right.
They're destitute. They need to.
Yep.
I used to deal with a lot of people from South America that would fly in, get off at the airport, promise to show up for their asylum hearing or immigration hearing. They'd work for 9 months and fly back out and go home and do it again next year because it would take so long to get their hearing. They're like, we're just going home. And they'd
I'm not
sign back
surprised.
out and check in the next year.
I'm not surprised.
And they were flying in and out of Philadelphia International.
Yeah.
And they would come in. They were the nicest people. And don't think that they were uneducated. I used to sell yachts for a living. I'm at a party talking on the one night, and the one guy comes up and starts talking about boats and finance and how we, had to do what we had to do to like sell somebody a yacht and all the paperwork and everything. They weren't uneducated people, but that
Yeah.
paid so much to come here and do landscaping. They come here and work for 9 months. They go home. They're very
Or a
well off in
farm.
their
They'd
country.
work the harvest and then they go home. So like,
Same thing.
yeah, Lazy Larry saying here, Larry Lee is saying utilities are not worse than what I am paying now in New York State. Well, they could get a whole lot worse. That's because they're burning diesel to generate
Yeah.
electricity.
Right. The Philippines needs to go solar heavily.
Or hydroelectric, or they need to do something else.
Well,
And the whole
I don't know
grid
how
is run by China.
hydroelectric will work. I know there's places they could do it, but I don't know how many big enough rivers they have.
Well, actually, salt water makes better hydrogen than fresh water.
Well, who's talking about hydrogen? We're talking about
Are you talking about damming it up and doing that?
Oh,
Yeah, we're
Mike.
talking about electricity.
Mike is
I
making
thought
a
you were
good point.
talking about
here.
burning hydrogen to generate electricity.
Oh,
In case
that
you didn't
works.
know it, Canada is the #1 medical tourist destination.
Yes,
You
I
guys
could see that.
Thailand. It ain't. It's Canada.
I had
Colombia
never
is
heard that.
very big too. I know people that go to Colombia to get their dental work done.
A lot of people go to Mexico to get their dental work done.
Right.
Sure.
Mexico is cheaper, but not as
Yeah.
cheap as it used to be.
The Philippines is even better. So I
Yes,
guess
it
I'll
is.
wait. I'm probably going to wait till I get over there.
Well,
Mike
a
is
lot
saying
of these-
they closed the border crossing months ago.
A lot of these dental people are all educated in the United States anyhow. City of Philadelphia, Ivy League colleges were loaded with foreign students coming here
Yep.
for dental school.
Yep.
Yeah, I've
I've-
heard of situations like this too, Tim. So, Mike, what's up with that? People from Mexico can fly to Canada and go to the USA from here. Yeah, that's true.
People from the Philippines can fly into Canada much easier than come into the USA. And if I wasn't worried about the United States government
What, they go to Mexico? Hey,
evicting
Filipinos
them,
can go to Mexico on their visa, can't they? I mean, on their passport, can't they?
That
Oh,
I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
I know
think
that
so.
So I did have somebody tell me to have my girl do that.
Mike says the Canadian government pays for Canadian people who go to the U.S. for surgery. So if they're waiting, you have to get, I'm sure you have to get approval. But if you're waiting for a specific surgery and they know it's going to be way out there, I think that's what Mike's saying. The Canadian government will pay for you to
Now,
go have the surgery done.
Mike
in
would
the
know
US.
this better than me, but the only time I've ever heard of anybody coming from Canada to the States for medical is if it was, what do you call it?
open heart.
No. Like plastic surgery or something.
Oh, cosmetic
So Mike
surgery.
is saying
Well,
that
no,
Americans who don't have medical insurance come to Canada. That's true because it's cheaper to have certain procedures done there.
Well, for me to have cataract surgery where I live right now, I'm looking at a 6 to 9 month wait. That's insane.
There's Larice.
Yep.
So right now, folks, I'm legally blind until I can get cataract surgery. And they'll cure it in 15 minutes.
I was going to say, I'll
Tim
take
says
care
I
of it
paid
for you, but I can't
$160
guarantee the results.
What was that?
I'll take care of it for you, but I can't guarantee the results.
I don't know about that, but I
Yeah, so I don't know if solar's the answer, but we sure do have a lot of desert with nothing in it.
I can't get cataract surgery, and I don't think light of it because It's
Well, of course
keeping me
not.
out of the game. I'm unemployable.
Yeah.
I'm legally blind. I can't drive my car these days.
That really sucks. Yeah, now you just got it back on the road.
I always keep it on the road. I need it to go everywhere, but I do drive once in a while. But I gotta have my son sit next to me and say, "Dad, don't hit this. See that?" It's like putting a seeing eye dog on the hood. It ain't good.
No.
Oh,
But
you mean U.S. drug cartels? Yeah, they're a big problem, Larry.
Yeah, he's
Is that
talking
what you're
about the
referring
Mexico,
to?
I think.
Oh,
yeah, well, a
Is
lot of
that-
people talk about these crazy, huge Mexican drug cartels.
yeah, they're bigger here, bro.
It's a Republican fantasy.
Well, they do exist.
Yeah, but
And
not to
Of course
the
they,
extent that
the
the
biggest
Republicans
reason
claim they
they,
do.
you know,
well,
but I'll
that's
tell you
because
what,
the Republicans are supporting them.
the whole thing
Or they're
is that we
supporting the
have,
Republicans. I'm not sure which way it goes.
that's the only reason, the only argument that I have is as to the reason why I think currency will not be controlled the way that a lot of people think is because that would mess up the underground black market economy and all the illegal activity that goes on, which involves a lot of money.
Yep.
You know, a lot of money that would be taken out of the pockets of rich people.
Exactly.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
So I mean, I can't picture
Yeah.
controlled currency happening.
Well,
I haven't tried.
they've changed the banking in the United States. If you're moving around $800 now in your bank accounts, it's reported to the government.
Right.
It used to be 9,000.
Right.
It was
What's
10,000.
a
But
few $100 a
Well,
month, friends? I always say.
9,999, just under 10. What?
yeah, as
Yeah,
long as you're
I must have
under
federal
10,
reports
as
all
long
over
as
the
you're under
place.
10, they didn't report it.
Yeah, it was under 10, but if then it went to 5, and now it's just about every transaction is reported.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
So they've
told you the
already
story,
went that way.
told you how the
Which
story about
has
how
nothing to do with digital currency.
No,
yeah
that's to do with Rico.
about yeah
Yeah.
they have to report, and so people get tired of it. Like LBC, remember I told you they wanted to audit all my transactions because they were worried about having to notify the Department of Homeland Security
Yeah.
because I was moving too much cash.
Yep.
Mike is saying in Dumageddon, a dentist charged myself at 3 times the cost. I told her just because I was there. It doesn't cost more. She apologized. I told her I would go to the Philippine government.
Yeah.
Wow.
That skin tax is there, and it happens all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm paying skin tax all the
You
time.
know you are, Dan.
Yeah.
But if you wear sunglasses, you could probably pass for Filipino.
You
My
got to
last
put
name
Mad,
is Areta.
you got to put Mad Miss Minnie in
I'm
front of them.
turning Filipino every day. I'm turning Filipino.
Yep.
Tim says I deposit check every month for my regular living expenses. They know exactly where to find you, Tim. If they thought you were a threat, you would see the guys in uniform come looking for you.
Yep.
Yeah, can you get that surgery in the Philippines, Edward? Yeah, of course you can.
Yep. And probably just as good or better than you can here.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah.
Think about it. The Philippines have got some of the best hospitals in the world.
Well, I'm in Pennsylvania. They
Well, I
invented
know,
medicine.
Pennsylvania has some of the
Pennsylvania-
worst hospitals in the world. No, I'm just
No.
kidding.
No, but Pennsylvania's nowhere near the top of the food chain on hospitals.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure they are.
I
Not
think they
even.
are though.
They invented medical in Pennsylvania.
No, I think they are. I think there's let's see, University of
Pennsylvania,
University.
Conning, Drexel, Children's Hospital of Philadelphia.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have got a lot of stuff there.
Yeah,
You've probably got 60 hospitals.
Penn
In
Presbyterian. Yeah, but they invent medical procedures in the city of Philadelphia that are used all
They-
over the world.
they
You know what,
invent
Tim?
medical procedures here in Houston also.
Oh, I'm
MD
sure they
Anderson
do.
does.
Tim's
MD
saying I've
Anderson
been
does.
confused with being a Filipino. The reason why is because you have a very slight build. You look Filipino to me.
But Children's Hospital in Philadelphia has more medical firsts than any hospital in the world.
As more medical what?
First to do at this, first to do that. They invent the medicine in children's, really, that are used everywhere. If you've seen the size of Children's Hospital in Philadelphia, you'd understand why. It looks like a small city. It's literally like 20 city blocks wide and 20 city blocks long.
That sounds like the medical center here.
Yeah, I'm sure Houston's huge too. I don't doubt that for a minute. But Philly's just, we go all the way back to Thomas Jefferson.
Larry, he's killing me. Oh yeah, you probably wouldn't. You probably wouldn't ever be mistaken for Filipino, Larry. We had a good time, by the way, Tim. Tim, we'll see. I don't think we're going to be able to. I was hoping we'd be able to see each other one more time before we leave, but I don't think it's going to work out because there's personal business that we got to take care of in Pampanga, so we're going to be tied up with that. Not immigration stuff, other family stuff. Yeah, there's other family stuff. Man Minnie wants to say hi. Where are you, Man Minnie?
Hey, man, Minnie.
Whoa.
Hi, everybody. How
There's
are
Leonard
you?
Lund. There's the Mac
Good,
Daddy.
good. How are you
The
doing?
beautiful Miss Minnie, hi.
It's right there.
Hi,
Anna Mae is here.
Leonard.
Tim is
Anna
online.
Mae, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, you look good on camera, babe. You look good on camera.
He always
Well,
does.
thank you.
It's not you.
Oh,
I'm surprised you don't break yours all the time, man.
oh man, I know. I got that melon face.
Sir Larry.
Sir Larry is on in the chat. He
Hello.
he doesn't have internet.
There he
going.
is.
Mike and Ati Cora.
Yeah, I think Cora, Mike is here.
And Babe.
Yeah,
Everybody.
Best
Who's
is
not here? Yeah. Who's not here is a shorter list.
Oh, so did Larice.
Please.
Larice is in the house.
Oh, I'm forgetting one of the other big medical hospitals in
Yeah.
Philadelphia, Temple.
Yeah, she looks good today, and yesterday she looked a little haggard, didn't she, Tim?
Oh, Manny, don't kill him yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
My turn's coming. Believe me, my turn's coming.
Okay.
All right,
Bye, guys.
all right. Now, don't go into the restroom and flush the toilet or anything like that while I'm online. All right. She's going in there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious!
What I
Well,
need.
you know, if
You
you
need
tell
to
her not
pee?
to, she will.
The tinkling is gonna come out on the mic though.
Yeah. You're right, Tim. Minnie does always look good.
Dan's a happy man.
Yep.
Well, you're in Houston, right, Leonard?
Yeah.
What isn't that like the third largest city in the United States or something?
Yeah, I think it's third. Let's see. There's New York, L.A., Chicago. Fourth.
Fourth.
Yeah, because it's New York, L.A., Chicago, Houston, Phoenix, and then I don't remember after that.
Philadelphia's like number 6 or something.
If it's that high, I don't even know if it's that high anymore.
Yeah, it's up there, but
I'm not muted any longer.
if not, it might be slipped back to 7th or something. But Philadelphia's pretty large.
Well, yeah, it's a large city, but a lot of people, when you tell them Phoenix is number 5, they don't believe it until
All
they
right,
go.
let's talk about let's see, related, very related to what we're talking about. I gotta find the article. You won't be surprised. I don't think so on this. Let me see if I could find the article that I sent to myself. Oh, by the way, I have YouTube claims, copyright claim on
Oh
a couple
no.
of music that I'm allowed to use, that I'm licensed to use. I don't know why that happens.
YouTube is getting real nitpicky.
Yeah, I have the license to use the music on the last 2 videos, but I still end up getting copyrighted. And so I've had to file claim releases. I had to file disputes, and I've never lost a dispute, on a release of claim.
Well, that's
So
good.
it just takes a lot of time, it just takes time. No $10 today, Dan, for donuts.
Well, what's the price of rice these days in the Philippines?
Expensive.
Hasn't it come down some?
No. Yeah, by the way, Larice, you
Oh,
and
hi,
that
Marianne.
Christian. All
Sorry,
right, here it is. All right, here's the article. So it's Yahoo News from, let's see, they shared it from an article that was published on Go Banking Rates by Don Alcott, Allcot, on Friday, June 9th, 2023. So it's fresh. It's a fresh article.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to read a little bit of it. If you're nearing retirement age, you might be looking to get out of the United States. Duh!
There are a
People
lot
have
of
many-
people saying that. That's why a lot
People
of
have many reasons for leaving the U.S., whether it's personal, affordability, politics, economic fears, or simply a change of scenery. Earlier in May, Go Banking Rates spotlighted the 15 most affordable places to retire, but there's more to choosing a place to live. So basically, it's a non sequitur. They started talking about baby boomers prefer to live abroad, and then they switched us over. They baited us, right? And they switched us over to the top 15 places for retirees to live. They don't have anything to do with each other. The title of the article was Boomers Prefer to Live Overseas or Live Abroad. And then instead of talking about that and the reasons why, they changed it up and they started talking about the places that you can live affordably. So this makes me think this is from this is a paid thing,
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Well,
Yeah,
where
the
I live
survey-
is way up in affordability.
All right, but what is number one, by the way? So number one is, let's talk about that. Lisbon, Portugal is number one.
Wow. There's a
I've heard a couple places in Europe were really
You
cheap
can get
to
the
live.
golden or D7 visa for retirement and gain access to public health care. This is one of the main reasons why people retire there. You can even upgrade to a private plan for a small amount of money per month for more coverage.
Yeah.
So medical is one of the main reasons why people are taken off.
Well, that's because American medical costs are stupidly, ridiculously high.
Oh
That's,
God, yeah.
That's the most polite way I can say it.
Oh, hey, Mike, here's the thing about what you're saying there, bro. The whole thing, all it's going to do is inspire people to come out and give further support to the Trumpster. So the whole thing really, in my opinion, if you understand, and I think you do, I believe you do, about how American politics works, this was just to drum up support for Trump.
Yeah, but
So-
Trump never came out with the medical plan that he promised us in 2 weeks and 8
He
years.
No, we're not
He
talking
didn't come
medical
out with
plan.
anything he promised.
No, we're not talking about medical plan. I'm talking about the recent. Mike is saying,
Oh, his
Uh,
indictment.
yeah, Yeah, that's what I think he's referring to without saying it. So
Yeah.
no, this is just going to bring everybody out and bring them together, and they're going to coalesce. So Salinas,
Yeah,
Ecuador, Salinas, Ecuador,
the MAGA are still going to be there.
yeah,
Deep space is still going to be there.
and all it is all it's going to do is just piss off the rest of America also, because
Yeah.
now they're starting to think that there actually is something to the Department of Justice being used to being politicized. That's all this is going to do. It's
Yep.
just going to cause people to rise
Well,
up.
yeah,
You know,
this is a lot of this is just efforts to detract from the case and
right?
make regular people believe that he isn't guilty. And it's pretty obvious that he is, or they wouldn't have got this far.
I don't know how he ever got so far. I knew Trump
Well,
from
no,
Atlantic
wait.
City.
Wait, no, I don't see it that way at all, Leonard. I don't.
You
Oh,
know?
Most people, in a general sense, are sick of it.
But
Trump
yeah.
was a thief all the way back in Atlantic City.
The thing is that indictment, no indictment. Who gives a flying F? No one really cares.
Yeah.
The only people that care, the further to the
Wilma, how
left,
are you?
the further to the left that you are, the more you're going to care about it. Big deal. We got more stuff hanging over our head over here on our side of the ledger. I mean, let's be real. In a general sense, the government has become more and more corrupt over the last 10 or 15 years, more so than I've
It's
ever
been
seen.
longer than that. But
It's been longer than that, most likely. And the whole thing is
it's just
and
coming
what are
out.
we? We're sheeple. We live in
Yeah.
slave landia. All you have
Yeah.
to do is bribe me. All you have to do is send a check directly to my debit card or the bank, and I'll do whatever the hell you want. I mean, that's what this country is turning into. It's screwed
That
up.
is true.
It
That
is
is
screwed
true.
up.
All I know from the medical end of it these days,
All I ask
it's
is
crazy.
sign me up and you'll get my vote. That's all I ask. I'm so stupid.
Yeah.
I'm so friggin' stupid. I can't think for myself. Just send me a check. I'll vote for you.
Well, I got medical, and they're playing games with me.
Yeah.
They all want me to come in and go
what do
to
you
the
think?
preliminaries to get my
think we're-
cataract surgery,
We're not
and
a
then
bunch of
nobody wants to do the surgery. I want my
Yes.
third doctor.
we're not a bunch of clowns.
There was a poll that somebody was reading the other day that said that the indictment, or even with the indictment, 46% of the Republican base
We'll still vote for Trump.
would still vote for Trump, which is enough to win the primary.
I hope they do.
So, you have to know. So the fix is in. That's all I'm saying, Mike. The fix is in. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors. That's the way we roll here in this country. You know, am I angry about it? Yeah, of course I'm angry about a whole bunch of.
You remember how in 2016 he said that the election was rigged. Yeah, it was. That's why he won.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen,
that's the only reason he won.
I can't disagree with you. I just can't, because we know nowadays how this country works.
Yep.
And so what do you do? What do you do? I mean, peer pressure comes into play a lot, and I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, and I don't know what to do.
I know people that dealt with the Trump organization long before he was president, when he was in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
They built him a parking garage that he wanted and was going to pay for. And he offered to pay them all half. And when the people looked at him and said, "We can't take half. It doesn't even cover our costs," and he went bankrupt and paid them all nothing.
Yeah, well, no, it didn't exactly happen that way.
That's one of his favorite things.
Time out.
That's
It
one of
didn't
his
happen
favorite
that way,
moves.
Dad.
He's been
It didn't
bankrupt
happen
over
that way.
13 times.
Okay, how did it happen? I know
The banks made out.
Joey Zagaro.
The banks got together, they refinanced all the loans, and they came out making a ton of money. You got to be here's the whole
Well,
thing.
Trump offered to pay the Zagaro brothers half, and he
Works in
stiffed them for
America.
$300,000.
Accept it or reject it, but this is how it works. And he's just a smart businessman, smarter than you and I will ever be. But let me give you one example of how this country works and how they steal money from the taxpayer every single day. So they set up this company, right? It's called Electric Light Wave. And they go down the streets and they put millions of dollars of their investor money in running fiber optic cable. A couple of months later, after the project's all complete, they go bankrupt. A company comes by named Roosevelt Telephone Company. They buy up all the fiber cable lines for pennies on the dollar.
Right.
Who was the owner of Roosevelt Telephone Company? The same foundational people that sit on the board of directors of Electric Light Wave. Who gets the bill? The taxpayers and the investors.
Yep.
That's the way we transfer wealth in this country. He just knows how to play the game.
Dan, that's how we do not transfer wealth in this country.
Yeah, that's how we steal it.
That's how they steal it.
That's how they steal it. Exactly. But transfer, steal, what's the difference?
Well, if they transferred, it means it would go to a different group of people. That's not happening.
That's
select
corporate
few
entities. Remember, they're immortal. They're like gods. Even when you're gone, the corporation survives. That's another thing.
Yeah.
They're immortal, inherently evil.
Well, Trump at one point owned like 5 or 7 casinos in Atlantic City, and they amazingly all went bankrupt. You got that right.
Yeah.
Yes, and then why is he still a billionaire? It's not because he illegally.
He's not a billionaire.
No, that's the thing.
Debt and obligations.
He has over claimed his wealth.
Yeah,
guys,
value of his
this would not have happened if banks weren't willing to loan him money. You have to see the whole picture. Everybody is in it because they're greedy.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of his money came from Deutsche Bank and Russia.
No, listen, I don't buy any of that crap.
Well, it's all true.
There's a paper trail on that, Dan. I've seen it.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe any of that.
In Trump Tower in New York, they got like 3 or 4 floors they call Mini Moscow.
The bottom line is, you show me, follow the paper trail, and then you show me you lost money, and you'll find no one did. Everybody made money.
Nobody
they made
lost
tons of money. Everybody got rich.
Except that Trump has got a track record of not paying for what he gets.
And that just makes him a smarter businessman than the rest of us.
I don't call that business. I call that thievery.
That's just being a crook.
Hey, he's the billionaire and I'm not. That's the bottom line.
Well, you believe he's a billionaire. I don't.
Because there's been so much put out there about him overvaluing this, that, and the other.
Let's see what Mike has to say. Mike says, I'm a liberal and Democrats have better things for those who don't have. But in the USA, they don't want to pay for something for others. Mike, I'm known by watching your chats in this venue and others that you wouldn't move to the United States. It's over your dead body. So, I mean, quite frankly, I mean, that's how I gather. I mean, if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't publicly say that I denounce my U.S. citizenship. I'm stuck. I have to take it. I have to take it, the good, bad, and the ugly.
Yep.
You can say, "Oh, I wouldn't move to the United States; it would be over my dead body."
No, I see why he feels that way.
Yeah, believe me, we understand it. We're here and we're stuck.
Yeah,
right. Exactly.
I have a former girlfriend that I still keep in touch with, who was she was from I don't remember the
Marianne's here.
Yeah, hey,
Maroma's here. Moelma too, and the whole Moelma clan is here.
I don't remember what exact country in South Africa she was from. It was somewhere near Zimbabwe. But anyway, she ended up getting deported after she got a nurse's license. She It took her about 6 months to get back to Canada. You could not pay her to come to the States now.
Yeah, see that? Hey, so Mike is saying he owes Scotland 85 million. What's a few million amongst friends, Mike?
Yeah.
And as long as the money's in my pocket and not in theirs, I'm good.
Yep.
All right, that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
So, all right,
But
let's
see,
go
Dan,
on.
Being
This
a
is
crook
fun.
is not good business.
I'm having fun. But how old is he? How many more years does he have left? I mean, what's an average
Well, he's
lifespan for a human being? 85, 80 years, 85 years?
80, 82,
All
and
right.
he's 70, what, 77, 78?
Yeah,
something
so
like that.
I suppose they want to put him they want to sequester him for a few years until he dies.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's see. Number
Wealthy
two.
people live longer.
Yeah.
Number two.
They got
Let's
better
talk about
medicine.
the next country. Listen, I'm having fun. If you don't think I'm not having fun, I am. Number two, Salinas, Ecuador for retirees, another popular vacation spot. Did you see how they just did that? We're talking about retirement, and then they
Right.
say another popular vacation spot. I'm not going there
Right.
on vacation.
No.
I'm not here in the Philippines on vacation. Makes a great place to put down your roots in retirement. Do I just pay attention? Is this trivial? Am I spending too much time talking about triviality?
What's the temperature outside?
What's that?
Right now, it's 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, expect a low of 49 degrees.
Number three on the list, San Jose, Costa Rica.
Costa Rica is not that cheap.
That's right. But birds talk to you.
So do monkeys.
Yes, it's not that cheap, Leonard, but birds talk to you.
But this is supposed to be talking about cheap places to live. I think I'll stick with Vagabond Awake.
Oh yeah, that's right. I like Vagabond Awake. I really do.
He's got a great channel.
Yeah, you get a lot. You get a really good perspective on everything. He just delivers
Yeah.
it straight, factually.
Yep.
So
Yep.
here, Costa Rica is roughly 30% less expensive than the average U.S. city. 30% is not enough to get my attention.
No.
It isn't.
And they don't tell you about the crime rate in some of these places.
I'm not sure how Costa Rica is, but
Mykonos, Greece. Mykonos, Greece. This catches my attention. A seaside city is also a great place to retire. You'll need to jump through a few hoops to earn your residency in Greece as a U.S. expat, as proof of current medical insurance or regular income. Oh, so they want you to have everything. They want you to pay for your upkeep.
yeah,
Number
that's not overly cheap.
Yeah, number 5 surprised me. Shanghai, China. If you're willing to consider someplace totally different and affordable, low crime rate, then Shanghai, China is the place to be.
Yeah, let's go
Housing-
live with the communists.
Housing is 45% cheaper than in the U.S. Yeah, which if I have to live with a communist, it's probably an upgrade for me. I could not resist.
Yeah,
Yo, I've censored
I'm
internet.
gonna upgrade myself.
they have censored sensors.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's put all that away. That's enough of that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I thought it
they
was going to be
never-
something.
they never
Something
really
really
even
good.
got into the really inexpensive countries to live in.
Right.
They
So
didn't
anyway,
do Laos, they didn't do Cambodia, they didn't do
yeah,
Vietnam.
don't. Here's the thing that worries me about you, Beck, a
Thailand,
little bit.
Philippines.
Critically evaluate everything you're being told, Beck. It's not, there's nothing that we're being told in the media that's an undeniable truth.
Boy, that's the truth.
Yeah. You have to critically evaluate it. you have to go to many, many different news sources and then make your opinion based on
That's
what
that's one reason. That's
Yeah.
one reason I listen to Bowl of the Fifth Column.
Right.
Have you ever listened to him?
No,
Nah, but I go to BBC all the time.
not in a while. BBC is a good source. BBC, I like.
It can be.
Yeah, I like BBC. I like NPR. I like listening to. I even go
I've
to
seen
CNN. I
NPR.
even go to Fox.
Yeah, NPR has come up with a bunch of stories and articles that were just 100% bullshit.
No,
NPR,
no, I
you got to
don't.
be careful with. They're not
I-
what they used to be. I'll agree to that.
No, Mike. No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. You know what?
You're
But it
absolutely
is
right,
kind of,
Mike.
yeah. Except it's kind of weird, Mike, in that it was born of Puritans, and that's problematic from a cultural standpoint. And so whenever you have to go back and look at the historical underpinnings of the founding of the nation's history in order to understand where we are today. You have to go back and see where we were, and that gives you a better clue as to where we are today and where we're going possibly. And so we're basically, whenever people, I guess I became one of the most liked individuals in my circle of friends because I would talk about stuff like this. I would say that, you just can't accept openly what some yahoo is spewing out of their mouth, a talking head on some news channel. You have to get, they're part of the component. They're part of what you need in order to make it have an understanding of what's going on. But you need many, many different sources in order to evaluate a situation that's coming out there. For example, the United States may be perhaps the most corrupt country in the world, but of course, you say that, and you're going to be called names, unpatriotic.
Well, I don't believe that. I got to tell you that.
You're not.
They'd
You're
have to get in line. They'd have to get in line and be way back in the line for most corrupt.
Group or one party that is the party, then there's something wrong with your head.
Yep.
Yeah,
there's
but
something wrong with your head.
We're nowhere near the most corrupt. That is like such a.
Well, I think we're close.
We were born of corruption, my friend. That's how we came to be. That is part of our historical underpinnings.
Dan, you've never had oligarchs as clients.
Because people saw God. It did not.
Yeah, but you've never had Russian oligarchs as clients.
They came here, and the main number one purpose was exploitation.
Are American oligarchs.
It was
but they're not the same.
Exploitation of the masses. That's what the main objective was. I'm with you, Lazy Larry. And so you cannot say that we're not corrupt now when all the relatives that preceded them were corrupt.
I didn't say that we are not corrupt. You said most corrupt.
Well, I don't think we're the most, but I think we're a lot closer to it than you think, Ed.
Well, that may be true, but we're nowhere near the most. We're not even in the top 20.
Thank you.
I don't know about that. I'd have to think long and hard on that.
You can't.
I'd have to think about the Saudis, the Russians, the Syrians.
Hey, you can't disprove my statement. So there. I stand by it. But I like the way Leonard thinks. I really do.
I can get down a whole big long list before we pop up.
Let's see.
That unfortunately, that may not be an accurate list.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing. We don't know the depth of the corruption here. And
Mike, you're asking a loaded question, man. You're asking a loaded question at 1 hour and 54 minutes into the stream. Today's winner for the 100 pesos is Gurley Senna.
All right. Congrats.
Yeah. Gurley Senna, you win the 100
Congratulations,
pesos.
Gurley.
I'm going to go. I think I do have your Gcash, but if it's changed, make sure you
Mike, you remember
send me a
when
message through
the
Messenger.
New World Order became a thing? It was announced by Ronald Reagan in 1981.
Oh, he made some kind of a speech, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he made some kind of a speech
Yep.
referring to it,
Yep.
ushering in the New World Order, something like that.
Something along that line.
Yeah, it was something along that line.
Yeah.
I
And,
remember.
Yep.
How do you remember all this stuff?
Leonard's
Just
a
lucky,
student
I
of
guess.
history. Tell him,
No,
Leonard,
I just
you're a
got a
student
very
of history. You're very
well.
knowledgeable.
I
Yeah.
am, but I've got a very good recall.
Well,
I'm not
yeah.
total recall, but I've got a very good recall.
No, you're very knowledgeable. Yes, you are.
Well, I have my moments.
And so are you, Beck. So are you, Beck. I'm now going to fondly refer to you as Beck.
A lot of people do. Actually, they put a Y on the end. They go Becky.
Yeah, you remember one time I was talking about finance. There was
Nice
one.
smash.
Yeah, it was a while ago, but there was one stream I'm talking about. How things are going to change, how they're going to try to go to a digital format and do away
Oh
with
yeah.
the well, I ended up getting hate mail over that. They called me an armchair financial wizard, something like that. It was very insulting. They didn't curse at me though, which I appreciated.
Right.
But basically, it's a tie-in to this whole New World Order thing. But basically, do I think that there's going to be a consolidation of power? That would be a better question to ask me. And then I have, as an answer, I would say yes. I would say yes, it's inevitable.
Yeah, but I think it's a lot farther out than
You may see
people
a
think.
world war again before we have a consolidation.
I
of power.
hope and pray, Leonard, that it's way out there in the future someplace.
Yeah.
But when when you go and you find out, when you start digging, you find out that the U.S. wants to impose their own central bank digital currency, and the Philippine
But see,
government
the thing is,
wants to impose their
there's
own digital
absolutely
bank
no
currency.
evidence. There's no evidence whatsoever that the U.S. wants to have their own central cryptocurrency.
It's not crypto; it's central bank currency, which would be the
Right.
dollar digitized. It would be a dollar,
No,
a digitized dollar.
digital money. There is
Yeah.
no evidence that they want that.
There's
And in fact,
super back.
everybody in financial leadership roles says no, that's not what they're doing.
Except for Janet Yellen, who has said that, yeah, we're looking at it.
She says that so she doesn't have to answer questions sometimes. She dodges the bullet a lot.
She needs to.
Yeah.
Mertz is here.
Hey, Buckyo.
Hi, Bird.
Hi, Minnie says hi.
I gotta put my phone down for a minute. I'll be back.
All right, well, it was fun, Mike.
Right.
Mike, you're always welcome here. You know that.
Yeah, we always enjoy you, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, it's a chat for sure.
Yep.
It's a chat for sure. We agree, we disagree. You know what I mean? But we're all
Yep.
hopefully remain friends.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the main point. And Larry, I'm sure, wanted to chime in there and say a whole bunch of stuff, but he,
Unfortunately, he was.
he's
Not
sidelined.
Yeah.
He's sidelined. But next time. All right. But Larry, if you're there, go ahead and take us out of this live stream by giving us your very kind words of wisdom. You're welcome, Girly Senna. Let's see if Larry pops up with his kind words of wisdom.
He said it to Mike, so he might.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
All right, let me go back here and I could find it.
Yeah, it's right below Larice with her
Right
fight.
here.
Yeah, that one.
All right, so there we go. This live stream is over. And the words of Larry Lee, take care, stay safe and healthy. Plus, always try to have fun. And we shall see everybody on the next live.
All right.
Hope you had fun. Take care, everyone.
Yep. I'm out.
I'm out.
Goodbye,
As soon as I
everybody.
hit the button, I'll be out.